Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shifting Tones, the podcast with nerdy tones and shifting formats. I am today's host, Steph, and I'm joined by my two lovely co-hosts, Sam.
Hey, that's me, guys. What's up?
And Lorissa.
Hiya.
Hiya. Sorry.
You're good.
It was very energetic, so I wanted to match the vibe. But yeah, we are back with another week of Shifting Tones. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So how have you guys been since the last week we had our other episode?
Sweaty.
Sweaty.
Yes. Well, and it's actually been nice out this weekend, so that was very nice to experience for once.
I'm just saying sweaty because I had to go out to a job site today, which I don't normally have to. I work from home. And this definitely could have been an email instead of a job site.
Oh, no.
It wasn't bad. I think it's just like, I'm not super busy right now at work, so it's kind of to get me out of the office. But I stood around, I think maybe said like a total of 10 words, and they just so happened to be about beer instead of work. So, I mean, there's that. But
so you didn't do anything, is what I'm hearing.
Well, there was nothing for me to contribute, so we just got a new hire, and he has like 20 plus years experience specifically in the field doing some stuff that we're working on. And I'm more on the digital side, so I didn't have a lot to offer because they were trying to figure out where to dig for certain things. And I know it's all super vague, but yeah, so I just kind of was there for moral support. It was a little warm out. And, you know,
it was warm.
You gotta wear long pants and boots and stuff and whatever.
So you're sweaty, Larissa's not, is what I'm hearing.
No, I am not sweaty. I mean, I did do yard work, but no one wants to hear about that.
Non-sweat related talk.
Yeah, so we had a fun weekend for once because I didn't have an art show, so we took advantage of that, and we just did some hometown activities. We went out, we played mini putt-putt at this course that was great, which we were a little bit disappointed, though, because the best hole in the course was down for construction, but it was a giant castle that you got to, like, I don't want to say climb, but there was a hill up to the top, and then you would putt towards the bottom by the, like, little river system they created. So that was a big disappointment. But
yeah, I think they're regreening a lot of the holes there.
Yeah. Super cool. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10, but I'm not going to give you the location to not dox myself.
I think the last time I went putt-putt was with you guys, actually.
Oh, fun.
When we all went together.
We don't do it that often, but it is just a fun little like summer activity to do like once or twice during the summer. So
yeah,
because you don't have to be serious, you have to be silly, you know, and have a good time, and you can make it serious. I've seen a lot of putt-putt championship stuff on like TikTok and Twitter and stuff, which is kind of fun to watch. But sorry, continue, Larissa.
No, you're good. And we also got some good ramen at a local place. And then what else did we do over the weekend? I know it was just like a bunch of things, but I do know that
an illusion museum.
We did, which was not worth the price. They definitely need to restructure the price of that museum. It's a very small exhibit. But it was a good time. They had a tunnel where technically the bridge wasn't moving at all, but the way the mirrors and the lights were going, it made it look like, well, it made it feel like the bridge was moving. So that was a very strange experience. And so, yeah, just for that alone, I feel like it made the Museum of Illusions worth it. And I finally got to experience that thing in the textbook that they always show you for like how perception changes depending on how like things are aligned. The what's the room type called again? The one where if you are on one end, you're small, and then on the other, you're big.
Big, small room.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know if there's an official word for it.
I can post pictures of it in the chat because I took pictures on like the little TV screen that they had on the room because there was no other. There was some people helping out here and there throughout the thing that would like assist you and take a photo for you if there was just two of you or just one of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it wasn't for every single event or little thing they had.
No. One of the coolest ones was like a giant kaleidoscope that you can go in, and thankfully they assisted us with that one because it doesn't really work unless someone is on the outside of it taking a picture of you in it. But yeah, we were in different mirrors like a kaleidoscope, our image, so that was kind of fun.
Oh.
Yeah. And we also went to another arcade, very similar to the one that is around your hometown, Steph.
It's the exact same one.
It is.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And so, of course, Sam did his favorite thing and did a round of claw machines, and so we did win stuff again, so that was fun. Do you want to tell them
Nice.
what you won, Sam?
Yeah, so I won. So apparently, the only thing I'm good at in these arcades, because there's a lot of like, there's the Japanese ones where you have to push things and like try to pick up ping pong balls, and like there are classic claw machines where you pick up the stuffed animal, but a lot of these push and pull things, and those were just designed where after probably 1,000 tries you'll get it essentially.
Yeah, it didn't look very doable for a lot of them.
I'm very good at the box with the hook thing, Steph. You remember that from the
Yes,
last
I know,
one?
because that's when we said that on the podcast. You got it first try, and I was in
Yes.
disbelief.
So I got it on the second or third try for a Blue Lock figure.
Ooh.
About the same size as the Megami figure that I got from the last one. And then I could have done the same exact claw machine and got a Hatsune Miku figure, but I did not need that.
Okay, come on. Everyone needs a Hatsune Miku figure.
Yeah, but it wasn't a good outfit. It was like a lame umbrella.
Just a simple blue dress. Yeah, very
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
boring. But I did win a penguin wearing a cat outfit.
Yeah, it was super cute.
Oh, that's cute.
And on my last one, had I known that I could have cheesed it, I could have won a really cool Kakashi figure where he's wearing his like Ambu mask.
Oh, that would have been cool.
So the way this one worked, sorry, real quick, you have this
good.
rectangular box, and it's between a pole and a really rubbery, sticky rubber band. And you're supposed to get half under the box, half behind the rubber band, which I did every time. And then like you'll pull it up, and then it would move the rubber band essentially and slide the box down. However, on my last try, I figured the claw machine goes down far enough where if I just landed the claw on top of the box, it would just push it through.
Yeah.
And if I would have recharged my card with, I think I had a minimum $15, I would have gotten it. And I was like, is it worth it at this point? Like, we already got 2 or 3 things. So
yeah, we didn't want to spend another $20. And then,
but we did find.
Yes.
Sorry, I was going to say we found on the ground. Apparently, they just drop them randomly. Are like preloaded cards from the arcade, and it came with 20 tickets or 20 credits and 500 tickets on it. They'll just drop them in the arcade on the ground for kids to pick up. But
that's crazy.
Of course,
any kid came near me, I would have thrown elbows for sure.
No, it was literally right in front of the claw machine. We were
standing in front of,
and we looked down, and there's people next to us, and we're like, "Oh, did they drop their card?" And then we read it, and we're like, "That's for us."
Wow.
Yeah, super cool.
So what? Some employee just goes around like just throwing them out?
Yeah, probably
I guess
like
so.
every hour or 2 hours or something. I think I've heard about it before too, like arcades doing that. So I wonder if it's specific for this brand of arcade.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done, but I think we used those 500 tickets, and I got myself a cool little patch that had a cracked cactus on it, and it said in Japanese, "Hug me." So I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I pulled out Google Translator and translated all the patches. They were all in Japanese.
I also got some cute Japanese style erasers, one that looks like a milk carton and a strawberry ice cream cone. So it was well worth it.
Right up your alley.
Exactly.
I'll be really quick with mine because I know we got to get into the potatoes of it all. I got 3 things on my docket today for Sam's controversial corner. None of them are really controversial, except for maybe the first one. Funko Pops. I think in like the next 5 to 10 years, they're kind of just going to be, you're going to see them at like thrift stores and garage sales only, and they're kind of like precious moments.
I was going to say the Beanie Baby treaty.
The Beanie Baby, the precious moments. Yeah, anything like that. Quote unquote collectible.
Treatment is what the word I was looking for.
No, the Beanie Baby Treaty of 94. We all remember it. The war was brutal. But I think they're going to the wayside. We did see in this mall where the arcade was, this like local toy store it looked like this guy's basement had just exploded and he was trying to sell everything. Every Funko Pop was minimum like $35.
Wow.
Ridiculous. Yeah. So that's what I have about Funko Pop. So if you're collecting them, I'm sorry. You might want to try selling them off now because I think in the next 5-10 years, they're all just going
to go the way of the dodo.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see. Number 2. Oh, I've been playing a lot of Chain Together. It's a new game. $6 on Steam. It's you're trying to get out of hell and get to heaven, essentially. But if you play with multiple people, you are physically chained together. The chain only goes so far. And a lot of it is climbing things, jumping obstacles, and all that jazz. And so when you are chained together, you can only jump so far, or if you fall, you drag somebody else with them, and you can try to pull them up, but it's really difficult. So I was playing with a couple of our friends the other night, and we were dying laughing. It's a great game. I beat it on solo already, but I want to try to beat it with 4 people and then try to do the other difficulties because it's super fun.
Nice.
Number 3, apparently for the longest time, I was always mixing up the words chastised and castrate.
Huh?
Those are 2 completely different words.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, and I would stop myself. I would never say it, but I'm like,
But like in your
oh
head?
man, I feel like I'm being, the word was chastised, but in my head, I'm like, I feel like I'm being castrated? No, that's not right. I know that word. I know what that means, but I couldn't think of the other word. And I'm like, have I been gaslit my whole life into thinking castrated mean chastised? And then I heard it today on TV and I was like, that's the word. I'm going to write that down in my notes.
It's really funny, though, that you would mix those 2 things up because they mean completely different things.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
So
my.
please don't, castrate me for my my controversial corner over.
Wasn't planning on it.
Yeah, so I'll do a quick little small talk, just some things that have been up. I've been doing project after project with my college class. That's just a lot of big projects to do.
A lot of projects.
What?
I just a lot of projects. I was just
yeah.
mimicking you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. We did reach One Piece episode 500.
Wow.
What?
Back on June 22nd. I did forget to mention that a while back. Meaning just the last previous update on the podcast. But
Sure.
we reached episode 500 of One Piece. We started it on January 1st. So I'd like to think that we're above schedule of catching up. I don't know exactly.
Absolutely.
But now we've made it to the time skip era. So I'm super excited for what this entails. And I've been having a lot of fun with One Piece. So that's a big thing that's kind of kept me going between all the schoolwork I've been doing. And then, I just have a vacation coming up, dear viewers and listeners. Not viewers. I guess you can't really view this.
Not yet. Not until
Watching.
Spotify reaches out to us.
But either way, I do have a trip coming up. So on the next episode, I will not be present, just so people are aware. I know, you'll miss me dearly. I know, everyone. I'm sorry.
You
But
can
I guess-
send handwritten letters to Steph's address. I'll put it in the comments down below.
But I guess Sam and Larissa can carry for the next one that I'm not a part of.
We'll do just fine.
Yeah, it shouldn't be
Perfect.
too difficult. We'll be sad, of course.
I'm sure. All right, so we're going to get into it. Last time that we had our podcast, last Thursday, we did Devil's Advocate. Now, we talked about, kind of continuing on with said theme. And this time we are going to do that. And this time I will be the moderator. And Lorissa and Sam, you guys are going to compete head-to-head, 1 for and 1 against a topic. Now, these topics in particular are ones that I came up with that are super nerdy.
Oh, the
I'm
worst.
excited.
I know. So I have a category, different categories for the ones that I have selected. Now, a quick recap, dear listeners, is that we have Devil's Advocate. So one person is fighting for a topic and the other person is fighting against said topic. So same topic, 1 against, 1 for, and we'll do the same rules where each respondent will have a minute 30 to, fight for their argument, fight for their cause, and then the other person will go, and then there'll be 30 seconds to rebuttal, and then that is it. That is final, and I will make the final decision. We will do a point-based system, just 1 point per round, and that type of thing. No prize, nothing.
No prize.
No prize. I feel ripped off.
That's fine. I mean, what
You know
was I
what
going to
our prize is,
offer?
Larissa? No Steph next week.
Right? Exactly.
That's crazy, but I guess that could be your prize.
We're winning regardless.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, then. Okay. So I'm going to flip a coin to see who's going to be for and for against, right? So I think having heads be for something makes sense and tails be against. I don't know. That just makes sense to me. What about you guys? Does that feel right or does that feel wrong to you?
No, yeah. That way that's completely random.
All right. All right. Sam, what are you guessing? Heads or tails?
Tails. Tails, never fails. Yeah.
Okay. So tails means that you are against if you get tails. Heads is if you're for. Flipping the coin. It's up in the air. Oh my god! It's tails.
So I'm against this first topic.
Yes. So Sam, you will be against this topic, and Larissa, you will be for this topic.
Ooh.
And they're not all positive, right? Kind of like the one I did, where some of them were a little bit easier to argue for, some of them were easier to argue against.
Potentially.
Ooh.
All right. So our first topic, Sam, you are going to be, let's see, you are against Tails, against, yes, right? Yes, that's what I said.
Yep.
You are, it's kind of an against type of thing, I suppose, for this one.
Yeah.
Okay. You are against competitive Smash Brothers.
Okay.
So that means you are kind of in favor for family game Smash Brothers. You think Smash Brothers is for like a family. It's a family game. So you're against it being a competitive one. So Larissa, you are all for competitive. Like Smash Bros is made to be competitive.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that is what you are for. And Sam, you are kind of for, no, Smash Brothers is a family style game.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
So you're kind of both against each other's.
Right.
In a way. I had to make it a little different from how we were doing it.
No, that's perfect. And this is actually like highly debated in the Smash community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Sam, you're in favor of family game Smash Brothers. Larissa, you're in favor of competitive Smash Brothers.
Oh man, it's going to be difficult.
All right. So let's see. I'm going to flip again to see who goes first. Just based on what coin you had before. Ooh, okay. Larissa, you will get to go first.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, all right. We are going to have 1:30 for you, Larissa, to start. And your timer starts now.
So naturally, fighting games like Smash, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, all of these games have been designed and built since the beginning of time, back in the 80s in the arcade sets, to be competitive. Why are we putting kid gloves on a game that is meant to be competitive? And so naturally, if you're going to want to gain wider exposure in the larger gaming community, Nintendo should fully embrace this as a competitive sport and, get their name in the game and go off to the races. I mean, it's already super popular in the competitive game. So, and there's all these different move sets and things. Like, why would you limit a player's desirability to get better at the game by just saying like, hey, this is just for you and your little cousin to play around with? Like, no, it's a really competitive sport. There's a lot of skill involved. And I think just having a prize cash money would just encourage people to fall in love with the sport even more, do spectating, and become the best there ever was. Yeah. I'll end it there.
All right. Perfect. Okay. So you had 15 seconds left, so you were right on time.
Nice.
Pretty good. All right. Sam, you are going to go against that, and you are for a family game for Smash Bros. Are you ready?
Yep.
Your time starts now.
First, I want to say thank you, most honorable host, for allowing me to speak on this topic. I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, Super Smash Brothers is violent in nature. I'm not going to ride the high horse of, violent video games causes violent kids, but I remember being a child and playing a lot of fighting games or watching wrestling growing up and reenacting it with my brothers and causing violence in my home, with each other and bloody noses and, broken fingers and whatnot. I'm not saying it leads to that, but there's potential for it. Super Smash Brothers is a great family game to just play with, like Larissa said, your little cousin or by yourself or with your mom and dad or whatever. It's very simple. It's very fun. You can make your own maps. You can do a story mode. You can do little, activities where you're trying to hit the bag as far as possible. And then you can, be on teams. It's a little team event. It doesn't have to be competitive. Super Smash Bros. Competitive tournaments are all for the money and the glory, and it should just be about family fun and connecting with one another and creating that bond that's always been there, and strengthening your family and friendship, especially 2013 to 2017, 2018, when the 5 gods existed in the competitive Smash Brothers tournament. Nobody else was stepping up. They were getting all the glory for themselves, and nobody had the opportunity to surpass them because of how much they play the game. You had to put your whole life, blood, sweat, and tears into it.
All right. Ooh. So
heated.
Heated, for sure. Very good, compelling arguments between the two. Lorissa, you're saying more so that, games have been competitive since the arcade times, with the machines, and that why not elevate it, make it, into a competition, have tournaments and spectators more interested in the game. And Sam, you flattered me up. That was great. Love that. In the first 10 seconds of your talk. But those 10 seconds could have been spent, arguing for your topic. No, but it was good.
Didn't need them.
Okay. Wow, the confidence. No, but your topic was good. You related it to your brother. You brought your family in to tie into a family game, and that it is just a violent game in nature, and to use it with your family. Love that. All right, Lorissa, do you want to use 30 seconds to rebuttal against Sam's topic? Or his talk, I should say.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, your time, your 30 seconds starts now.
All right. And so the biggest people who fight for Smash should just be a family competition, a game with your brothers and cousins, is that the creator, Shigeru Miyamoto, designed the game to be that way. And he is on air being quoted as saying that. But I think that all good media literary students know to separate the art from the artist, and that once something is created, you are no longer the owner of it. And so what your audience makes of it is what the art is.
Time. Oof. Right. Exactly. 30 seconds. Wow. Ooh. All right.
Spicy.
Sam, would you like to rebuttal against Larissa's rebuttal?
Why not?
Okay. Your 30 seconds start now.
Thank you, Lorissa, for bringing up that the designer of the game, the intentions was to be a family game. Nintendo in general is meant to be a couch co-op system, family-friendly fun. It doesn't need to be competitive. Leave that to Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Call of Duty, CSGO. All the sweats can have that. Smash Bros. Is meant for family fun. It's meant to bring bonds together and build family. It's not meant to tear each other apart. Thank you.
Ooh, 5 seconds to spare. All right. Woo. Man, this was a close argument. I think you guys both did super well on your 4s for each one being family game style Smash or competitive Smash. There's very good arguments. I don't know how I'm supposed to choose between these, to be honest with you.
Do it. You know who you're supposed to pick.
Well, I think I do like that, Lorissa, you did bring up, the creator of the game. But I do feel like that kind of just puts you at the tiniest bit of a disadvantage, because then Sam took that to his advantage.
Yeah, but he didn't dispute the fact
whoa,
all good media people. Fair enough.
I think for that fact and that fact only, because Sam was able to capitalize on your rebuttal, I will give it to Sam. 1 point goes to Sam. But it was super close. That was very hard for me to choose. All right. So let's see. I had Lorissa. Sam Lorissa went first, but Sam was in a way against this topic. So Sam now needs to be for this topic. And Lorissa, you will be against.
Okay.
So that was our video game category. I kind of done different categories for all of them.
I like this. Yeah, I'll take things that end in Urple for 500.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. So let's see. I completely just lost track. Sam, what did I say? You were 4. I'm so great at this.
This time I'm 4. Yes, Larissa's
4.
Again.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Sam.
Yep.
You are for Light using the Death Note. He was right.
Ooh.
Okay. Easy.
Larissa, you are against Light using the Death Note. That he was wrong. So basically, this is Light versus L all over again. Let's be real.
Okay. Okay.
So Sam, just as a reminder for the listeners for Death Note, Sam is in favor of Light using the Death Note to kill off criminals. Larissa, you are against this. You don't think that's right.
Okay.
All right. So Larissa, you went first. This will be Sam going first now.
Okay.
Sam, you have 1:30. Your time starts now.
Thank you, Spiffy. It's easy. This was a case closed kind of thing. Light should be using the Death Note. It doesn't make him a god necessarily, but it does give him the capabilities and the power to have all of the guilt into one person. If we could utilize that power for Light to specifically take down criminals and murderers, people like, when I say criminals, I mean like the worst of the worst. people that probably shouldn't, exist. I'm not fighting for, capital punishment or anything like this. But I think Light had the right idea where all he had to do was get a name and he had to write it down in the book, and it was simple as that. Time of death, all that stuff. It was a case closed kind of thing. He got the book, he could write a few names in it. Boom, there goes a terrorist, organization leader. Boom, there goes a famous assassin. Boom, there goes somebody that cut in front of him in line at the grocery store. It's easy to get rid of people, and we can put all of the weight of the world's enemies on one person's shoulders. We don't have to worry about it for ourselves. Somebody gets in an accident and causes a disturbance, you just call Light up and say, hey man, this guy rear-ended me. And like, no worries. Did you get his information? I said, yep. It's case closed. He writes it down, and I'm like, thank you, Light. I don't have to get insurance involved anymore, and I really appreciate it.
Is that your time?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I yield the remainder of my time to Steph.
There you go. Thank you. Yes, please let me know. The timer still ticks down.
Can I yield to questions or?
No. All right. So, Lorissa, you are gonna have your time. It'll be 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Perfect.
Your time starts now.
Right. I don't even know if I need to make an argument against that weak statement that was just made, but I will. And like Sam said,
exactly.
What's his name again? Light. Oh my goodness.
Now give me the points.
Is not a god, and so why does he get to choose who lives and who dies? I understand that this is a critique of the government and that the law system, and that eventually it's all corrupt. And so why not just put it on a scapegoat like Light instead of the government that needs trust in the people? I totally understand that. That's not valid though, however, because like a certain someone said in a previous debate, all power corrupts eventually. And so I think the point of the story is to show that Light, he was a pretty naive guy. And once he started writing names in the book, the power already corrupted him and he was already going to become a demon in society. And so if he had never wrote a name in the book, he would probably be a perfectly fine and capable human being in society. And like I said, he's no god. He has no right to judge who lives and who dies. And also, once at the end, when he was super corrupted by the book, he wasn't just killing criminals anymore. He was just killing anyone that knew that he could potentially be the mass murderer. It's lame.
All right, that's time. All right. Whew. That was a heated debate. Now, Sam, would you like your 30-second rebuttal against Larissa's?
I'll take it.
Okay. So, 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Larissa, you brought up a good point. Light is not a god, and, people think that he shouldn't have that power. However, I think if we just took him, like, chained him to a desk in a dark room and stuff, and, like, we'll just send a piece of paper in every once in a while with a name on it, this could take care of a lot of problems. Insurance brokers and bad lawyers and stinky people.
All right. Your time is up. All right. Larissa, would you like 30 seconds to rebuttal against Sam's rebuttal?
I don't feel like I have to. I'm going to concede it.
Whoa. Okay. She's that confident. So this time, dear listeners, I actually took some notes so I could help remember on what was said, because I was like, oh my God, this is too much. Sam, I don't know how you did it last time, so props to you, moderator of the last round.
Memories.
Yeah, that's great. Sam, you first debated that, we have the worst of the worst criminals out there. We just need to start getting rid of people, and Light can be the scapegoat that we all need. Put the weight of the world on one man. And he can also not only just take care of the worst criminals, but also take care of people that might piss you off in a car accident. I get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. And so Larissa, then you debated and argued that, well, first of all, you didn't even remember Light's name, so you kind of started
minus some points there.
Some credibility did fall,
no.
So you had to kind of pick up your credibility a little bit, pull him up by the bootstraps, if you will. But you did remember his name, and you said that critiquing the government and going against the government's ethics was not a valid thing. I loved that you did a callback to all power corrupts eventually, something that yours truly did mention. So
flattery.
It was pretty good. But I do like that you tied in that, like, you know, he was corrupted because of the book and he was starting to just kill anybody. Sam, you rebutted. Light's not a god. You agreed to that, but you think chaining him to a desk and he'll just take care of the problem is going to solve everything. Lorissa, you were so confident. No rebuttal needed. I'm gonna give this to Lorissa. Lorissa gets one point.
Yeah.
See, in my chain to desk theory,
okay.
It's kind of
expand upon this. Yes.
Yeah, let me expand upon it real quick. I don't know if that's gonna fight, you know, because I don't. Okay, I'm taking Larissa's 30 seconds. Essentially, we put all of the like everybody on the world, okay, in the world. Oh my God. Put them on a wheel, kind of like, you know, for the topic wheel, and we spin
an 8 billion person wheel.
Yep, 8 billion person wheel.
No,
we put it on the. Listen, we put it on the wheel and we spin it every. Well, I don't know, once a month, once a week. I don't know, whatever we need. You know, until people get the point to maybe not commit crime as much.
Oh my God.
And it's not selecting the person to kill. No, it's not selecting the person to kill.
Okay.
It's selecting the person who gets to write a name down and give it to Light.
Cruel and inhumane.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, it could be a baby, and they could just say, "Mama," and you're like, "Oh no, oh okay, no."
But you're saying out of the 8 billion people, how is language gonna affect that? Because Light is from Japan and speaks Japanese.
Yeah, Light's got Google Translate.
But that could just, like, if they write down the name of someone, like, from their country in Google Translate, what if they, like, translate the name wrong?
Not my problem.
It's funny.
They could just be killing random people.
Right. Also, I love your theory of chaining Light to a desk. Do you remember the whole reason why, spoiler alert, Light dies at the end?
Okay, Death Note came out in 2006. I think we're okay.
Well, anyway, Ryuk, his Shinigami, was bored that Light wasn't going to be able to do anything anymore, so he just wrote his name in the book. Do you think Ryuk would let him sit in prison for years on end? No, he wouldn't. He would have killed him by then.
No, what if Light just writes John Smith? Do all the John Smiths in the world die?
Probably.
Like, it's weird. You don't, like, I was thinking about that. Like, you didn't have to have an identifier, like a license number or social security number or anything?
Nope, just the first and last name.
That's crazy.
That's it.
Yep.
All
Sorry,
right.
John Smith.
So far, Sam has 1 point and Lorissa has 1 point.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Easy.
So
point.
we are going to move on to our next topic. Alrighty. So, Sam, you were for.
Yep.
You will now be against.
Okay.
Lorissa, you're the opposite of that.
Fair enough.
Sam, you are against One Direction breaking up. Larissa, you are in favor that they should have stayed a boy band together.
Oh, I'm for them staying together.
No. Yeah, she's in favor of them breaking up.
Oh, did I mix it up?
Yeah, I think you did.
I'm against them breaking up. Larissa's in favor of them breaking up.
Yes. Wait, let me
Wait,
that
what?
down. Right?
Yeah, she said I was against them breaking up.
Yes, you're against, because you were for Light. You're against them. Sorry. You're against breaking up. So
yes. So I want them to stay together.
Yes, Larissa, you want them to be a boy band still. Sorry, I write these down and I'm like, this will be easy to remember.
You're good.
So much more difficult.
Dear listeners, Steph is recovering from a cold, so hopefully that gives you some context of what's going on.
I was sick for like 4 days. So sorry. So yeah, Sam, you're against One Direction breaking up, and Larissa, you are for them.
Wait, no. I'd be for them breaking up. You're right. Okay.
Yes.
You were right originally, and I was messing things up.
No, you're good. Okay. Yes, for breaking up. Okay. And let's see. Larissa, you went second, so you will be first this time.
Okay, fair enough.
So Larissa, you will have 1:30 as to why One Direction needed to break up.
Fair enough.
Your time starts now.
Okay, dear listeners, it may come as a shock to you, but I was not a One Directioner in my time as a youth. I know. So I'm a little bit biased here. I thought that they should have broken up after a year to begin with because, let's be real, their music wasn't that original. It was pop fluff. Sure, it won the hearts of millions of girls and men and lots of people around the world. Sure, it brought you some happy memories. Did they bring anything really to the musical genre? No, they didn't. But what did happen is when they broke up, a star came out from the field who I do appreciate his music, and without One Direction breaking up, we wouldn't have had the solo tour of Harry Styles, who's fantastic, and if I had a chance to go see him in concert, I would. He's got some really interesting music. It's experimental. He's done different things from his first to his second. I think he might be on his third. I don't know how many albums he's had. I'm not a huge fan of him in that sort of a way, but I think his music is a lot more interesting than anything that One Direction put out. All right, I end my time.
All right. Ooh. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Not a One Directioner, I
No.
see. That was very interesting to find out from you, Larissa. All right. So, Sam, you are against One Direction breaking up. You believe that they should have stayed together. You have a minute 30. Oops. Hold on, timer, stop. Okay. You have a minute 30 and your time starts now.
Thank you, Steph. Boy bands are the heart and soul of music. If we go back all the way to the Beatles, they were the original boy band, you could say. Even though they played instruments, they were still a boy band. When they broke up, people cried and broke down, threatened. It was horrible. Things were in chaos. And then NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and 98 Degrees all came together. And when they broke up, the world fell apart. When One Direction broke up, it was the worst thing ever. They shouldn't have broken up. They were found in 2010 by Simon Cowell in the X Factor because he saw something special in them. Something special we had never seen before. A boy band with purpose. And so now, in the year 2016, they had this horrible breakup because one member of their band, Zayn, decided to leave and go off and do his own thing. And that was a mistake because Zayn didn't really get famous from it. If Zayn had stayed with them, I think he would have had more popularity. Yes, Harry Styles had a successful career going forward, but I think them staying together would have brought families back together. They would have brought families to play Smash Bros. Together while listening to One Direction. Their music was iconic. So many great songs like Up All Night, Take Me Home, and Midnight Memories, come to mind when I think of One Direction. And their career could have been even tenfold what Harry Styles is now if they had just stayed together. More movie deals like the Spice Girls, more record labels, probably bigger than Taylor Swift. People love boy bands and One Direction, and they should have just stayed with it. Less controversy, less problems, and more music.
All right. My goodness. Ooh, some big arguments from both sides here. So, Larissa, you did not care for One Direction much growing up.
No.
And you believe they should have broken up after 1 year. Bold claim there. That they're not original. They just had pop fluff. It's just a genre. But you think that breaking up was the best because Harry Styles became more of an interesting star who had more of an impact, more purpose, yada, yada. Sam, you think that, boy bands are irreplaceable.
Absolutely.
You even compared them to the Beatles at one point, which was very, very interesting of a claim. And you did some NSYNC also in there as well, and whatever the other one is. I don't remember what you said.
Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees.
Backstreet Boys, thank you. I was like, there's one other one. And I like that you mentioned their roots. Simon Cowell saw some good purpose. And I don't know if I even knew that Zayn was the first one to want to leave. I don't think I knew that. Was that a very common known thing that Zayn was leaving first?
It's okay. It just
hiatus, yeah.
Hey, so I learned something new from that. So that's good. And I love the argument that you said that you think if they would have stayed together, they would have been more successful, even than Harry Styles' career, which is a bold prediction there.
Yep.
So you think he'd be more popular had he not separated and stayed with the group?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Larissa, you have a 30-second rebuttal if you would like.
Yeah, I'll take it this time.
All right. Your time starts now.
All right. As all good One Directioners know, and people who have followed it by force by friends who were very much into it, we all know that the band had some inner turmoil going inside. There was fighting going on. They weren't happy with each other. And so I think, like all good things, all good things end. And they ended right at the height of their career, before any of their fights blew up and got out of control, before they created an album that was bad.
All right. Sam, would you like 30 seconds as well?
Absolutely.
All right, your time starts now.
One Direction was the face of Pokemon Black and White, actually. When the game first came out, they did the promotions for TV ads, and they did some music for them. They also were supporting Nokia and its re-release and its comeback. So if One Direction stayed together, Nokia would still be around and still be on the forefront facing against Apple and Samsung. Also, they've done many philanthropical events, raising money for children in need in 2011, and other big charity events where separate, they couldn't raise that kind of money. Together, they could raise billions.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm going to have to do some fact checking, because was One Direction really the face of Nokia?
They weren't. I said the face of Pokemon Black and White, but they also helped promote Nokia back in the day.
Let me see. Nokia One Direction promotion. We're doing some fact checking here. The moderator and the team needs to
Understood.
To fact check here, because I just don't know. This is crazy. There they are. That's crazy.
That's hilarious.
They're holding up the phone. That's
just
wild.
One Direction, Nokia is a dinosaur, and they should stay in the past.
Whoa!
Whoa,
that's too bad. It's not in your 30 seconds. Whoa!
The duck points. Take away her first point.
That's a good comeback, though, if you had an additional 10 seconds for
a
comeback.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen.
Yeah, we can't submit the evidence to the court,
Wow.
We're not allowed to have that evidence, but,
now I'm looking at the black and white, because I've never even heard of that, and I really am super curious for this. Wow, my God, they are just the face of it. All right, you know what? The point goes to Sam.
What?
I know. It's mostly because he's taught me a lot about One Direction that I had no idea.
Rude! I had solid points here.
Yes, you did. You did, of course. And I mean, yeah, Harry Styles did have a successful career, but I do also like that Sam was like, they could have raised more money if they stayed together for charity. At the very end.
They would have broken up anyway. They were fighting.
You need to back up from the mic a bit.
Huh?
Larissa just needed to back up from the mic a bit.
Okay.
It was a little staticky.
All right, we have one more topic for you guys to duke it out in a whole separate category. We have done video games, we've done anime, we have done music. Our last, can you guess the topic? Movies, you are correct.
Ding ding ding.
Yep. So, let's see. Sam, you were against, you will now be for. Larissa, you will now be against.
All right.
The topic is Marvel movies. Sam, you are for them to keep making Marvel movies.
Oh boy.
Keep making Marvel movies, baby. Keep it up. And Larissa, you are against them. You need to have them stop making Marvel movies. Just stop. Come on now. This is too much.
Whoa, it seems like there's already a bias.
But no, I was hyping up both. Keep it up. Yes. Okay. Just stop. Come on.
It's fair. It's fair.
I'm trying to hype up our last topic, and now I'm getting criticism.
No, I think it's a good one. This is a good debate.
All right. So, I'm trying to remember who went first last time. It was
me. It was me.
So Sam goes first this time. Sam, you have a minute 30 to debate why they should keep making Marvel movies. Your time starts now.
Marvel helped build back cinema. And I know that sounds silly because a lot of people don't see Marvel movies as cinema, as real, film, but it really did. It got people to come back to the movie theaters. Avengers Endgame ended up being the highest grossing movie of all times. It created conversation and got people into nerd culture a lot of times. It got people to go to Comic-Con and events and help bring friends together. It's something very unique that doesn't happen a lot in society, where people could have common interests, or they could disagree on who their favorite superhero is and have a lively debate about it. Superheroes have really impacted a lot of people. They're very important. They have good ideas and morals, and for Marvel to keep making movies, I think it's very important for children and for young adults and people to see the impact that it has, and to have superheroes that they can look up to. And the more movies they produce, the easier it is for children and people to see those role models in their life. especially strong independent women as superheroes. They're seeing a lot more women and people of color in Marvel movies, so that's very important. It should have been there from the beginning, but it's something they have to grow and work on. So the more movies, the more adversity and culture we can see in cinema, and I think it's really important to bring it back to the theaters in this day and age, and we need to keep making more Marvel movies.
Is that your time?
I yield the remainder of my time, yes.
Perfect. All right. Larissa, you have 1:30 as to why they need to stop making Marvel movies, and your time starts now.
All right. So you did make some good points, sir, over there. Yes, Marvel did bring back cinema, and it was a great time for all nerds. Nerd culture is now pop culture. You really are made fun of for liking a casual Marvel film now, and I think that is a great thing for society. However, things need to move forward in society. Otherwise we stay stagnant. And I feel like that's what's going on with these new Marvel films, is that cinema or film or whatever you would like to call it is now stagnant. Everything is a sequel and not original. And so we need to let there be time for new creators to come up in the scene and to bring up their own original ideas and create new fandoms that people can obsess over and talk about and have new role models to think about and look up to. I mean, just think about it. The Barbie movie was a fairly original movie compared to Marvel, and just like you said, it was a huge pop culture moment. Let's bring back more movies like that. All right? We need something new, fresh, and original. And I think it'll be a great thing for society to move forward. We no longer need Marvel the way we did back in 2009. Let's move forward. It's the 2020s. Let's think of something new. Let new creators have their time in the sun. I'll end my argument there.
Ooh, that was perfect timing on the dot, really. Okay. So, Sam, would you like 30 seconds to rebuttal against Larissa?
Absolutely.
All right, your 30 seconds begins now.
I agree with Larissa that we do need new creators, and those creators can make new stories for Marvel. Recreate stories that maybe we've seen in the past that didn't do so well, or come up with new characters and new ideas based on the comic books. It's important to have that connection with culture and bring back to the cinema. I think that there should be a hiatus maybe in Marvel, but I think they need to keep making movies, because without Marvel movies, a lot of kids' hopes and dreams die, and you don't want to be a person that kills children's hope and dreams. Do you, Larissa? Do you?
Time. All right. Ooh, some heat going on in that one towards the end. Mm-hmm. All right. Larissa, would you like 30 seconds to rebuttal?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Your 30 seconds starts now.
All right. And since you brought up the kids, I'm going to talk about them too. Kids are smarter than you realize, and I think it's time that we introduce stories to kids that are more complicated than good versus evil, and that's what all Marvel movies are, and the good guy almost always wins, if not always. Let's bring some more complexity into the story, and so I think we need to move away from that Marvel format and do something more original. Let's bring back some more Ghibli films.
You are so lucky you didn't have that last part saved in there, because that would have kind of ruined your argument.
I know.
So you are so saved by the timer.
Yep, saved by the timer.
All right, but Sam's insult did count because it was in the time.
Thank you.
All right. Ooh, some very compelling arguments. Another hard one. I feel like this is also very similar to the first one, where I'm going to have a very hard time. Thankfully, I took some notes so I can refer back. All right. So, Sam, you think Marvel movies it brought back people to the movie theater and brought back cinema and culture and introduced more of a nerd culture around.
And Larissa agreed to that, by the way. Sorry.
Yes.
I did.
I wrote that down.
Ooh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. I was just going through your thing first. I do really enjoy that you said that superheroes, were good role models, not just for children, but young adults. And that you acknowledged that, women and people of color were represented, but you want them to have a chance to have more representation to continue with the movies and have that represented more, which is cool. Larissa, you did agree with Sam about cinema and nerd culture, but you argued that nerd culture is now pop culture, which I thought was very fascinating to hear. And you think that Marvel movies are stagnant and society needs to move forward because everything's a sequel. It's not original. We need to have new fandoms and new role models. But Sam, I like in your rebuttal that you said that you want you yeah. Well, you kind of responded to Lorissa and said, yeah, I agree. We should have new creators, but we should have them work on the Marvel movies. And I thought that was an interesting take on Larissa's argument. The only thing that kind of dampened your argument, Sam, was that you said, yes, a hiatus may be in Marvel movies, and then you continued on. I only noticed that you said the word hiatus, which I was like, oh, but why would they need a hiatus if you want them to continue on?
But if you remember my argument...
No. Larissa, let me hear him out.
This is in conjunction with my argument. If you remember, I said that a hiatus might be necessary to keep creating better Marvel movies and to kind of refresh the genre. That's what I said. I mean, play it back, editor. I think that there should be a hiatus maybe in Marvel, but I think they need to keep making movies because without Marvel movies, a lot of kids' hopes and dreams die, and you don't want to be a person that kills children's hope and dreams.
Okay. And Larissa, you rebutted about the kids, and then having more complicated themes and having more complexity in different things. This is a very tight thing. I don't know how I'm supposed to choose, but I think I am going to give it to Larissa.
What? Yay!
Mostly because of the hiatus thing.
What?
That was a weak point.
Go back and listen. Oh,
I know.
My goodness.
Bring back originality.
But it was very hard. But I also just wanted it to be a tie in the end for both of you. Because you both win with me not being here next week.
Woo!
Preemptive bias going in.
Yeah, that's okay though. Someone had a big bias in one direction already when they were giving their argument. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much.
They're your bias. Oh, well, sorry to tell you they're dead.
No.
Well, thank you guys so much for participating. Hopefully you found this like nerdy version of the devil's advocate kind of fun to debate against these topics. I tried to include all the big categories of, the nerdy tone things, Hopefully it was fun and you enjoyed it. It was kind of hard coming up with stuff that was like generic enough that you both would have a good idea. Right. I didn't want like a certain anime be like, Larissa has no idea what's going on.
Right.
So I was like, what's a good one? Death Note. Okay, everyone knows Death Note. All right.
Exactly.
But thank you also, dear listener, for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this back-to-back kind of Devil's Advocate episode series in a way. But hopefully, Sam and Larissa will have a fun little surprise for you guys next week, something that I won't even know about. So I'll have to join you listeners next week so I can hear what they kind of got up to. All right. Well, thank you so much. You guys can follow us on all social medias at Shifting Tones Pod. You can follow all of your hosts here individually, me at Spiffy Steffi, Sam at Sir Captain Sam, and Larissa at Larissa.Schaefer. Thank you guys so much.
Wait,
What, Sam? What, host Sam? What?
If you remember from last week, we had put out a tweet, and I said anybody who liked to retweet it will get a shout out at the end of the episode. So shout out to Rocket Man.
Go Rocket Man!
Retweet. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And you know what? It probably would have had tens of thousands of more, but it got buried, I think, under other tweets. I think I just posted the episode at the time, so it kind of just probably got buried. But Rockman's a true fan, so shout out to you.
Woohoo! Yeah! Shout out, Rocket Man. Thank you so much. And if you guys would like a shout out in the next tweet, next episode, I'm sure we'll put out a tweet. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll continue it. All right, but thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next Thursday. Bye!
Bye!